truth is, your opinion really doesn't matter, all right? And I'm not saying that your opinion doesn't have value. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, your opinion doesn't matter. Hi, my name is Brian Christian Jenkins. I am coming to you live out of Gran Canaria, Spain, and it is my mission to promote individual empowerment with the long-term hopes of creating a more compassionate, loving, and abundant world for everybody. So, what do I mean by your opinion doesn't matter? The fact of the matter is your opinion does not matter because it is your opinion based on your experience. And you might say, well, Brian, I have a lot of education and I have a lot of experience. 10, 15, 20 plus years of experience in X, right? And you know what? That changes absolutely nothing. Because really, there are consultancies, there are consultants, there are agencies that go into large companies. Large companies seek their opinion out. At the end of the day, it's their professional advice, but glorified opinion based on their experience. And when these companies ask these people to come and give their professional advice on how to increase sales, expand their marketing, get more clients, whatever it may be, these companies will spend tens, hundreds of thousands, even oftentimes millions of dollars, pounds, or euros on their professional advice. And you know what? Not even take their advice. So why is that? Is it that their advice and their opinion had no value? No, doesn't mean that at all. It just means that there are circumstances, there are other factors that may not be known to us. And so some of us, I've heard before people say, well, you know, I hate those ask holes, right? Catch that. I said ask hole, right? And what is ask hole? I had to ask as well. And it's essentially someone who asks your opinion, who asks for your advice, who asks for your opinion about something, but then they seem to never take your opinion on board. They seem to never want to implement what it is that they've asked you for. And people say, well, if you're going to ask my opinion, if you're coming to me for my advice, you know, why aren't you not doing what I'm telling you? And the fact of the matter is that can be frustrating. But there's things that we don't know about that person's situation, that person, that thing, that event that we're seeing from the outside. We may have all the information, or think we have all the information, but there are gaps in that we just don't know. So I turn that around back on you and say, if you feel that people are not listening to your advice or your opinion, you know, is there a need for you to get their opinion? Is there a need for you to see them implement your advice to validate your experience, to validate your education, to validate yourself, for example, right? You say, no, it has nothing to do with me. I'm just saying, like, they've come to me for something. They've asked me about relationship advice, about their professional advice. They've come to me about making a big decision, making a big move, moving across the country, right? How they should raise their kids, what kind of education their kids should get. They've come to me for my opinion because they know I have this experience, so they should listen. But should they? I'll leave that with you to figure out. Now, on the flip side, the same way that works, that your opinion doesn't matter, neither does theirs. You know why you're doing what it is that you're doing, okay? When it comes from, again, the status of your relationship, if it comes to how you're working, what kind of job you're doing, why you're doing it, if you should advance the ladder, should be doing it a different way, should you change jobs, should you raise your kids that way, should you feed them that food, should you do that diet? That's their opinion. Everyone's going to have an idea of what's best for you, but only you know what that is for you. So you can take their opinion on board, right? You can take bits of that. It doesn't make that everything that they say, regardless of their experience level, regardless of their skill level, it doesn't make their whole opinion true for your situation. Because what will some people say? No, I've been through that, right? So I've cheated on my wife or my ex-girlfriend. So I had the experience. I know what it's like to overcome that and become a better man and become a better partner, to become a better husband for my wife, right? I know because I've been there, so I can tell you exactly what you need to do, what you should do to make this work. I don't know jack about your situation. I can give you my best opinion about my experience, how I confronted the situation, how I handled the situation, how I got rid of that guilt that I carried for years, that guilt that affected my next, my future relationships, and how it still affects my relationship today. I can give you my opinion and leave that with you to pick and choose what you want to try to apply to your life. And by the way, that is an actual thing. I didn't make that up. That is actually a true story, all right, from my personal experience. And so when we have this need to want to give our professional opinion to somebody else or our best advice, there might be good intentions in that, but leave it with that person and let that person figure out. Because at the end of the day, be honest, ask yourself right now, take a moment. Throughout your entire life, you may be in your 20s now, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, wherever you may be, have you always listened to the professional advice or opinion of somebody else? Even that person who you really respected, even that person who you knew, right, had more experience than you. Did you always take that person's advice? The answer is probably no. And why? Did you not value that person's opinion? Did you not see that it could be applicable to your situation? There's a variety of reasons why you didn't take that person's advice or their opinion, but at the end of the day, the same thing is happening to somebody else. So I'm just gonna leave that with you because it's something that I hear come up a lot, something that comes up with me, you know, in my practice when I'm helping other people and coach them to get the dreams and the goals and the results that they want. At the end of the day, I have a desire. I want them to take my opinion, my experience, my best perspective for their situation to help them. But at the end of the day, if that person doesn't take my opinion, my advice, it doesn't mean there's no value in that. There is an opportunity to possibly explore what I can do to maybe make that more valuable to that person or maybe connect with that person, but it does not mean that what I'm saying doesn't have value. And that does not mean that what I'm doing shouldn't continue to go on. At the same time, for that person on the receiving end of it, right, I may be a person who has more experience in the space of when we're talking about emotional intelligence or the management of our emotions and how we can get past those things and get to what it is that we want, right? But that doesn't mean that makes it true for you. So guys, as always, this is Brian Christian Jenkins. I'm going to go back to the yard work, getting ready for a family event. We have 2 birthday parties that we're celebrating today and tomorrow. Feliz cumpleaños a mi cuñado, Pepe. That's a happy birthday to my father-in-law, Pepe. Y también a mi prima, Cristel, also my cousin through marriage, Crystal. So guys, as always, have an amazing day. If you can see it, let me go back there. If you can dream it, you can see it. If you can see it, you can do it. If you can do it, you can be it. So be awesome. Have an amazing day. Love you all.